Hey everybody, Breakthrough Health and Life Coach Glenn Hattem here. I'm here with Rachel Fleming, my marketing director, and we've just been having an incredible conversation today about some revisions we're making to a lot of things we're up to with website, with Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, a variety of other tools and mechanisms we're using to help serve our clients, help get access to potential new clients that want to know we're out here. We're here for them. We've got a unique service for them that they're searching for. And so how can we we talked a lot today about how do we streamline what's working really well? How do we streamline this process to create a more user-friendly experience, as well as kind of getting people to where they want to get to, parceling, we're dealing with a few different audiences that we serve, and how do we cater to them in a specific way so they can kind of get past all the noise. Maybe you could share a little bit about today's conversation, Rachel. I think our audience would really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. So up until this point, we've been working on a lot of content, whether it's on the website or social media or search engines, all kind of different stuff. And now we're really taking that step back and looking at, not sure if we love using the word funnel, but more of like the customer experience, right? And so when people are taking a look at us on social media or maybe on Google and they come over to the website, what are they seeing? What's their experience looking like? And we're really kind of now taking a step back and looking at this through fresh eyes of not just two people who've been super deep dived into this content for the last few months, but as somebody who's brand new and taking a look at this content now and saying, how is this speaking to me? How is this going to help me? And how am I going to, make this as easy as possible on myself so that I can come and work with somebody like Glenn. So as we're taking a look at that, we're kind of just trying to make things as easy as possible for the average potential client, or just somebody who's trying to learn a little bit more about the coaching space.
Yeah, and adding to that, we've gone through just a few iterations.
Just a few.
Just a few. We've gone through many iterations of, and it's a lot of like, yes, this is great. Oh, this feels so good. And then stepping back and going like, let's take that off. Let's remove that.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's not so great, or like, oh, how could this be? We're constantly assessing,
Right.
revising, we're brainstorming a lot. And we keep landing in the conversation in a place of, we're so close. That whole ideal of like that automated streamlined effect of like, okay, now we've got this piece really working well. Now we can start optimizing other pieces. And so that's a fun place to be in business, where you feel like, you've really honed an aspect, and then you can kind of rely on that to do its magic, and then start growing and start, fertilizing some of these other areas, right, that I'm very curious to explore. And so, me, I always come in with like, okay, here are the revisions. Here's what we need to do. Let's pull that out. And then, oh, here's some new things that are on the conveyor belt that I want to start exploring, start researching thoroughly, start having those conversations. There's been some opportunities with some book stuff I'm working on right now. There's interviews that are great channels worth discussing and exploring now, but haven't had room until we got some foundational pieces in play. And maybe you could share a little bit about what that's like as the back end side of the marketing person, who's like taking, my waves of passion and creativity and ideation mode as the place I swim in best. So
yeah, exactly. It's a really cool place to be, where we have stuff that we've put into place that we know is working. The data is there, the numbers are there, everything is showing us that this is working. And so then we've got some of these other things that when we first started, it's like, oh, that's a dream, and we're going to put this aside for now. And now we're at the point where this is coming down the conveyor belt. It's like, okay, we can focus on this now. It's like this feels very real, very tangible, something that we can definitely make happen now that we have, these other very crucial blocks kind of put into place. And yeah, we've got things that we're working on and we're tweaking, and there's stuff that's always growing, but now we're able to focus on some of these big vision ideas that you've had, that it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And so it's really cool to be at that place where we're seeing results, but then we also have new exciting things coming up where it's like, wow, this could really get even bigger. And so it's just an exciting place to be.
Yeah, it's exciting to now work on, like, because I love working on the dream, like the big picture, and these, like, how I don't know how we're gonna do this, but wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
And now we're like, those things are becoming like, okay, here's how we're gonna do that now. And then I'm still, of course, hey, it would be great to do this.
More dreams.
But these things have become, they're coming tangible. And they're
Right.
now like, we're actually just like, all right, what's the logistics? You know, we're even just this book project, just what are the logistics to do this? And then where does that fit in the calendar? And what's going to be allocated time and resources for that? But it's like, oh, all right, like,
We could do this.
yeah. And so now, but we're still kind of cruising at the same kind of cozy, it's nothing, we're not doing things really radically. We're actually still doing these small movements, except that these small movements now are like football field lengths. Every
Right.
time we take a little baby step, it's a football field length
Yeah.
jump now. But it feels like we're just taking, we're still doing these small, well thought through steps. We're rolling the dice, but we're not, pushing all the chips out.
Right. Exactly. And there's still strategy there, right? And we still have, very real expectations, but it's great to have these moments where we're like, you look back and say, this is exactly how far we've come, and we're still continuing to make these huge strides.
And we're like crushing it on our analytics.
Yeah.
And the new client and retention, like that's pretty exciting to see how that's all unfolding, just like we envisioned it.
Yeah,
It's happening.
exactly.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's all happening. I want to introduce, I have a celebrity guest that showed up. I'm going to introduce any of you familiar with like Chris Farley and like fat guy in a little coat? Well, here's a big guy, and let me see if I can get the peanut butter jar away from him. Everybody, this is Tovby the Wonder Dog. If you haven't met Tovby, this is my little man. So he just wanted to say hi real quick. He's probably wants to get back to his peanut butter jar that I've been using to keep him quiet. So, all right.
Crucial business partner.
Yes. Anyways, just wanted to thank you, Rachel, for today, and excited to share more next week what we're up to. We just keep elevating our game and getting boxes checked, which feels good. Yeah, I don't know, anything else you'd like to say or share?
No, just excited to keep moving forward, and it's just really encouraging numbers and everything. So it's been a very exciting week.
Yeah, exciting week, very exciting week. I know next week's going to be super exciting then. So
always more
on to that. Okay. But thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Rachel. Appreciate being here with you on the journey, and we'll talk to you guys soon.